Good evening, everyone here and everyone watching online. Welcome to today's talk, Discovering Your Own Self Worth by Ramanan. He has been practicing meditation since the age of 21, and he blends spirituality well with his professional life. He is a chartered accountant by profession, so today he will be sharing some of his spiritual insights on how he has applied spiritual principles in his daily life. So enjoy the talk.
Good evening to everyone and welcome. And here we greet everyone saying Om Shanti. Om Shanti is I am a peaceful being. So when we say Om Shanti itself, it is self value or self worth. We discover the self worth. When we say Om Shanti, that itself is a self worth. So this evening we are all here to discover the self worth. And I hope that we all wondering about how easy or how hard it is to discover the self worth, because discovering the self worth is a personal journey. I feel it is a individual and a personal journey which involve our core values, and it is also a lifetime journey which includes lots of reflections and growth, and also discovering our self value is an understanding of our values, strengths, weaknesses, and the opportunities. So, first, to be able to discover our self value, we should go into silence, because when we are in an environment which is involved in like lot of hassles and sounds and everything, it is very difficult, or it is sometimes hard for us to discover anything. So we need to go into silence to discover our self value. And mainly that we need to go into silence of three things. One, that's we call 3 M's. One is the silence of the mind, and the second one is silence of the mouth, the words that we speak. And the third one is the silence of mobile. So when we talk about silence of the mind, we can't just tell our mind, okay, I want to explore, or I want to discover my true words, so I want to be in silence. I can't tell my mind, because the very function of the mind is to create thoughts. So the mind will keep creating thoughts. So we can't stop thinking. So, how the silence of the mind works is when we sit and when we relax ourselves, and then consciously we say our mind that to reduce the thoughts, in the sense that the gap between the thoughts, because the mind is keep on creating thoughts and we keep on thinking. So the silence of the mind is when we reduce the frequency of the thoughts. Like the gap between the thoughts is where we feel silence. And in that silence, then we try to explore, then we will be able to explore our true values. And the second one is the silence of the words, mouth. That is like we have a habit of speaking too much or speaking loud, and we keep on speaking. But when we want to explore our inner value or the self value, we have to come into the silence of the words. How it works is like we have a code, like we need to speak softly, we speak slowly, and we speak so like essence. Because speaking a lot is depleting our energy. We are losing energy by thinking a lot and by speaking a lot. So, in that way, when we come into the silence of the mind and the words, mouth, the third one is the silence of the mobile, because we all have mobile and we all are using the mobile. All most of the time, we are on mobiles. And again, that what are we getting from the mobile is lots of informations, and most of the information we get is depleting our energy, and it is making us feel worthless or not enough. I'm not enough, because we are getting information, and all those information is saying that you are not enough, you are not worthy. And in the mobile, that we go into the social media again, and again that in the social media we see the post or feeds and everything, that also makes us feel that we are not worthy, because we compare, like we have followers or we follow someone and we see their post, or we post something and then if we don't get likes, or if we go, so we feel. And if somebody is posting something, let's say they have a car, they have a house, and they are going on a holiday, because nowadays they post everything, we post everything in social media. And what we do is we compare, we trying to compete with them, and we feel I'm not enough, so I'm not worthy. So to discover our self-worth, we need to have silence of these three things. So for now, for a few minutes, I think we can go into silence. We are not speaking. I think if we want to speak, you can speak if you ask questions. But now, for the moment, we will go into silence of the mind, especially. And all, I hope you are all have your mobile phone on silence anyway. So we sit comfortably, relax our mind, and try to reduce your thoughts. And between the thoughts, that gap will feel, that is what silence. And in this feeling of silence, we can ask ourselves some self reflexive questions because we're trying to discover our self value. So I need to ask myself some questions that is self reflective. And I ask myself, what is my core value? If I can answer the question of what is my core value, and then what is my passion, what is my strength and weaknesses. And I have to ask myself, what truly makes me happy, and what kind of person I really want to be. If I am able to answer these questions, then I will be able to have an idea about my own value. So I hope that you would have asked yourself these questions and find at least some answers. You can come back to normal. But by asking these questions, I can reflect on myself. These reflective questions will give me, because I'm talking to myself, I'm answering myself, like, what is my core value? And what is my passion? What is my strength and weaknesses? What makes me happy? And also, what kind of person I want to be. So if I can answer these questions, and then I will be able to explore my true value. And also, these 8 P's, I am going to give some words that starts with P. So 8 P's that will help to explore your self-worth. The first one is positive. So having positivity in our life, in my words, in my actions, in my relationships, in around me, if I'm having positivity in my dealing with the problems or facing the issues, if I have positivity, that helps me to discover my self value. So the first P is positivity. And the second one is patience. Because patience is, again, these days we want everything to be in a hurry. Like we want everything now. But actually we need to allow the time for itself to grow. Like if you are planting a seed, you need to give time. You need to nurture that plant, the seed, and you need to give time to grow, and then only you will get the fruits. So if you're planting the seed today and tomorrow you want the fruit, it doesn't happen. So having patience is also an important factor. The third one is praising. So we praise ourselves and also whoever is surround us. Like I need to praise myself. If I'm doing something, if I've done something, if I have passed the exam or something, I need to praise myself. Sometimes we forget to do that. We are so critical about ourselves, and we don't, it's not like self, it's not ego or arrogant. It's gives us motivation. So we have to praise ourselves, and also some it's more, and also sometimes we have to praise the people around us as well. So appreciation, that is also will help me to explore my inner value, the self, true self value. So the third one is praising, and the fourth one is practical. We need to be practical in everything, in setting up a goal, or when I try to achieve something. Because if we are not practical and we expect something, not, it's not like we can't do it, but then not, it's have all the situations and everything. Based on the situations, it's not possible for me to do now, but I still have that goal, and which is not practical at the moment. So at the end of the day, if I can't reach it, then I feel that I'm not enough or I'm not worthy. So I have to be practical in my goal, everyday activities. I have to be in practical. And the fifth one is purity. Again, purity in my mind, in my words, in my actions. Purity is cleanliness, is related to cleanliness. So we have to be physically clean, because the atmosphere. So when we are at home or at workplace or wherever, we concentrate on keep the surrounding clean. And also purity in the self, like my mind needs to be pure, my words, my actions needs to be pure. So that will help me to discover my self value. So the fifth one is purity, and the sixth is purpose. So I need to understand what is my purpose of life and the intention behind I'm doing everything. Because we all come here today is we have a purpose. We have to, so every actions there should be a purpose, and the purpose should be like, sometimes we have a purpose which is not good. So then that's gives me negative results. So we have to think and understand the purpose of me doing actions, and purpose of me in this, in the sense that why I am doing this and what is my purpose. So we have to understand the purpose of me doing every actions and the intention behind it. So that is okay. Again, that will help me to discover my true value. And the seventh is practice meditation. Because again, meditation is important at this time of the world. Even when you go to hospital or see the doctors and everything, they're saying practice meditation. Meditation now is important from the child to everyone. By practicing meditation, I increase my own power, inner power. So practice meditation will also help me to discover my true value. And the eighth one is planning. So we have to plan from the morning throughout the day what I'm going to do. we will have planning. Okay, this time to this time, this is what I'm going to do. At workplace, I'm going to, what is the, what I'm going to do. And in the evening or when I reach home, what I'm going to do. So this kind of planning is also important to make or to discover my self-value. So these 8 P's, if I practice or if I implement in my life, that will help me to find my inner value, inner self-value. And also, most of the time we value ourselves. Like discovering our self-value means that how I see my worthiness, how I see myself, how I feel myself, how I feel in my thoughts, in my behaviors, in my actions. Most of the time, how we trying to discover our worth is with the external things. What is my net worth, or what kind of house I have, what kind of car I have, and based on my physical appearances, color, and based on these external items, we try to discover our self-worth. As a human being, we have to understand that beyond this external, there is an internal being, because we all call ourselves human beings. So external elements and external items are there, but that is not who that is what it not true who I am. So I have to understand the self first to explore the self value. So if I see myself as this external identity, then I value myself with this external identity, which is not going to be there. Someone, it can be lost, or it is tangible. External identity, external value can be increased or can be depleted. So the true value is an internal value. So to understand, to explore the self value, the true self value, I need to understand who I am. I need to understand the self. That is internal. Because when we say we are human beings, so internally the being is who really I am. Once I begin to experience the being, I am a being, I operate through these physical elements. These physical elements are there. This body is there, worth is there, everything is there. But who operates through this is the being, the self. So we call the being as a soul or an energy. That is who really I am. So once I begin to understand or experience that I am a being, I am operating through these physical elements, that gives me an energy, or that, because the soul or the being is an energy. So if I am an energy, I have control over my mind, my intellect, and my habits or my behaviors. So I have control over my mind, I have control over my intellect, and I have control over my behavior or habits. So that means that external, or no one can, if somebody say you are not worthy, that doesn't affect me because I know the value of myself. I know the true value of myself. And once I begin to experience that I'm an inner being, I'm a point of light, I'm a soul, then I'll be able to understand my qualities. So when we are all human beings, we are all beings, so we all have 7 qualities, basic qualities within us. But we don't see, or we don't give enough time to bring those qualities out because we are too busy in valuing ourselves externally, competing with the external items, and we feel I'm not worthy, or I am the worthy and others are not worthy. And we are too busy with that, and we don't have time, or we don't spend enough time to discover the true value or true self. Once we are in silence, as I said, silence of mind and mouth and the mobile, and when we reflect, when we ask those questions, and we trying to, when we understand that I am a being and I have qualities. So basic qualities of myself, the original qualities of myself are peace. Peace is my quality. Purity is my quality. Love, happiness, bliss, power. These are my qualities. And these qualities are within us. But we don't have time to bring those qualities out. So, in discovering our true value, we try, because now we know that these are my qualities, and I have these qualities within me, and I try to bring these qualities out. So that's why I said practice meditation. In meditation, we give time and energy to these qualities, and we try to bring those qualities out in daily activities. So because I keep the awareness, and I keep my worthiness. Okay, so I have peace within me. So I'm not peaceless, or I have happiness within me, because happiness is my own original quality. Purity is my own original quality. Bliss is my own original quality. Power is my own original quality. So once I understand that my true values, and I give energy to those values, it's manifest, because we spend time and energy to those qualities, and we keep the awareness of my own qualities. And so what happens is, in our daily life, when we are communicating with people, when we are facing problems, or when we are in our surroundings, our original qualities will come out, because that is what who really I am, and that is my worth. And also, we have qualities and I have powers. The biggest power is the inner power. We may have the power of the money, power of physical power, or job, and everything. But the biggest power is the inner power, willpower. Because if we don't have the willpower, we, even though when we have other powers, but we don't feel that powerful inside, even though if I have money, power, and all the other powers. But if we don't have the willpower, the other power does doesn't support. So the willpower, inner power, again, that is my worth. And as I said, we have 7 qualities, and also we have 8 powers within us. So, first, power to tolerate. We all have the power to tolerate. We all have the power to pack up. We all have the power to face, power to accommodate, and power to discriminate, and power to adjust, power to cooperate. So, these are the basic powers that is within me. And we all have these powers. Sometimes knowingly or unknowingly, we use these powers. But when I give time and when I feel myself worthy and when I give time to these, I will be able to use these powers when I need it. Because sometimes what happens is we go through a situation and then we feel, okay, I should have tolerated or I should have faced this. But if I discover my true self and if I say that I am worthy to tolerate or I am worthy to face this situation or I'm worthy to tolerate, because sometimes we feel tolerating is a loss, but it is not a loss, because when we tolerate, we allow others. Like for example, like somebody is angry with me and then they are shouting. In that situation, if I am not tolerating, if I am just trying to react to that situation, it's going to grow or it's not going to give me any solution. So if I have patience or if I'm tolerating, let's give the time space for that, even that person to understand what he is doing. So the time can heal. So I have these powers within me. I have these qualities within me. So based on these powers and qualities, I value myself. So the self exploration or self value is an internal analyzation. So I go inwards and I understand that I am a being and I'm light, I'm energy, and I have these qualities within me. I have these powers within me. So based on these, I value myself. So, and then once I have or I explore and I have understand my true value, then I need to be gratitude or I need to be grateful of what I have. Because most of the time, what happens is we are not grateful or we are not thinking about what I have. We always think about what I don't have. In fact, what I have is enough for me to live a peaceful and happy and simple life. But what we do is we try to compete or compare with others and forget about what I have. So having gratitude is again an important aspect. So we have to think about what are my needs and what are my wants. Because need is like, let's say, if I'm hungry, I need food. If I want to go somewhere, I need a transportation. But the want is like, if I am hungry, I want pizza or I want this food, particular things. And if I don't get that want, I feel that I'm not worthy, but actually that my need can be fulfilled with what I have. Like if if I want to go somewhere, I need transport, so I can use public transport. Or if I have a car, it's fine, I can use the car. But then if I want a particular car or a comfortable car, then that's my want. I may be able to get that, or I may not be able to get that. But the thing is that I'm expecting, oh, that's my want, that's not my need. So if I have gratitude for what I have, if I am, the more I am grateful of what I have, what the nature gives me, because whatever it is, nature gives me, or God gives me, and the surroundings gives me, then I will be happy. If I don't have gratitude, then I feel myself not worthy, or I'm not enough, and I'm running behind everything. So by running behind my shadow, I'm losing. So we can have this practice, that writing gratitude. So if we can start from today for the next 21 days, or however like you want to, we can write 10 gratitudes for the day, like from the morning till the time that I goes to bed. Before I goes to bed, I can sit in silence and I can reflect, and at least 10 things should have happened that I can be grateful of. So if I start thinking and writing that what I am grateful for, so I can start writing that gratitudes, what will happen is that will help me to explore my true value, because we are all valuable. Nobody in this world is unworthy. We are all worthy in this life, but we don't see that I am worthy, because in this world, as a human being, we are all worthy in any ways. I can't say I'm not worthy or I'm not enough. It's just that I don't give time, or I don't see what is my worth. Or otherwise, I see, as I said, see my worthiness in the external things, and then I feel myself that I'm not worthy. And I'm telling myself, or if others come and say that you are not worthy, then I accept it. Or then I feel, okay, I'm not worthy. So we have to understand. So I have to remind myself that nobody is unworthy. Everybody is worthy on their own way. And everybody has, like I said, everything and everybody has the purpose in this world. So I have to go within, and like I said, you can write down 10 gratitude. Like maybe we can take few minutes and reflect or think that from this morning till now, what are the things that I have, or I needs to be grateful of. So maybe a few minutes we can take, and then think about what can I write, or 5 or 6 or 10, whatever it is that I can be grateful of. We'll take a few minutes and we sit in silence, and we can reflect on the great things that I need to be grateful of. It can be smaller things. Like when I wake up, I was able to walk my own self. Or when I'm hungry, I had food. Or it can be smaller things or bigger things. But I need to appreciate everything from the smaller things to the bigger things. So once I start to think and start to write, we can practice this writing for 21 days, 10 gratitudes. I'm sure we all have at least 10 things that we must be grateful of. So that will help for us to discover our own value. So define our self-worth by the way we live, because our no one else, we can't allow others to define my worthiness. I need to define my self-worth. How can I do it? Is the way that I live. So how I live is, like I said, how I understand my inner powers, inner qualities. So I allow that inner powers and inner qualities to come out in my words, actions, relationships, behavior. So I feel myself worthy. So I define my worthiness. And then I need to trust myself. I need to trust who really I am. I am, this is what I am. So I need to trust in my worthiness. Because sometimes what happens is like we depends on others. We allow others to influence us. That's why I said, like, especially nowadays, like in the information that we get, or in social media, or even when we are in a relationship, or when we talk to someone, somebody will say they have that purpose, because sometimes people do that purposely to put us down. So I know, if I know my true value, self-worth, then that doesn't affect me. So I need to trust myself and trust my progress, because I know that. So I have to have that inner belief that I am worthy. So I once again remind ourselves that no one is in this world is not worthy. So I can't say to anyone else also you are not worthy, and I can't say myself also I'm not worthy. So we are all worthy in our own way, but we have to give time, and we have to see the worth of myself, and we have to see the worth of others, because sometimes we don't see others also. Like, that's why I said praising others, because somebody is doing something for me or something good. By praising them, appreciating self, we see they are also worthy. So we go in silence and we understand and we know our true self. Once I understand the true self and my true qualities and true powers, I will be able to discover my self-worth, and my life will be better. I'll have the happiness, I'll have the enjoy. I can enjoy the life, but success I can have everything. I can work hard. I can be success. But again, success is different and worthiness is different, because success is an external thing. Like I can do work, I can work hard, and I can be success in anything. But that doesn't guarantee guarantee that you feel that you are worthy. Because sometimes what we do is to prove others that I am worthy, to prove the world and others that I'm worthy. We running and we work hard and we succeed. But at the end of the day, how I am feeling, that I inside I still feel that I'm not worthy. That is not the life. The life is very simple. That life is to feel myself worthy in every situations. So if I feel that I'm worthy, and my life will be successful. So I think I will stop here, and if you have any questions or anything, we can reflect for a few minutes. If anybody have any questions. Yeah.
1 second, so online people can hear you. Sit down. How we can silence the mind when you have a strong feeling, maybe you feel unsafe or insecurity, and you try empty your mind. The mind could be empty, but have this constant feeling, sometimes negative. How I can swap this feeling, or what I can do in this moment?
Like I said, silence the mind. I can't tell the mind that, okay, I want to be in silence, because as I said, the very function of the mind is to create thoughts. So mind will keep creating thoughts. But what we understand is, I have to understand about what kind of thoughts I have. Basically, like we can divide our thoughts into 5 types, like positive, negative, and we ordinary thoughts, and waste thoughts, and elevated thoughts. So the positive thoughts is about how I think about myself. I can do it, or I can think positive about me. And the negative again is an opposite. So I can think negative about me. And the ordinary thoughts are there. Like there is no positive or no negative. It's just ordinary. Like if I'm feeling hungry, there is the thought come, I need to eat. So that's an ordinary thought. But what happens is, most of the time we have waste thoughts. Waste thoughts is something that we think about the past and worry, or we think about the future and worry about it, or have fear. And then we have elevated thoughts. So the elevated thoughts is the last one, that if I say somebody like, okay, I have a good wishes. Okay, you may be happy, you feel. So we wish them good for them. So that is also a thought. It's kind of a blessing, or it's a thought. But when we try to sit in silence, what happens is the thoughts will come. But we have to detach ourselves and see the thoughts. Like sometimes we have to go away from that and see the thoughts, like what kind of thoughts I have. Once we start seeing our thoughts, what happens is, like mind is like a child. When you leave your child alone, the child will play in mud, or child will do whatever he wants to do. But when you are there, like when you are watching your child, then the child knows that somebody is watching me, so I can't do, like I need to behave in good way. Same thing, like if I start watching my thoughts, automatically, slowly mind will stop thinking, or mind also will create that positive thoughts, and it's reduces the waste thoughts. So silence is like when we reduce our frequency of the thoughts. Like I said before, like because we can't stop thinking, but we reduce the frequency of our thoughts. So like I say, if for 1 minute, if I have for the moment, if I am thinking, if my mind creating 10 or 20 thoughts in 1 minute, slowly. So that is why meditation is important. When we start doing meditation, what we do in meditation is the first step is to watch our thoughts. So when we start watching, our thoughts will reduce, the frequency will reduce. It is a process, but we can achieve silence by meditation and by looking our thoughts from the distance. Like if I detach myself from that thoughts, and then when I see my mind as a different person or my child, then I can reduce and I can feel the silence in my mind. Yeah.
Um, I found it interesting to reflect upon, like when you use the word frequency. Are we talking about that to reduce the amount of thoughts that we have, or to just have better quality of thoughts? Like I've heard a scientific study that says we have around 80,000 thoughts per day. So
Yeah.
are we seeking to reduce the thoughts or just to make them better?
The first step is to reduce the thoughts. But again, as I said, the function of the mind is to create thoughts. So the mind will create thoughts. But once I understand, like I said, there are 5 types of thoughts. So if I understand that these are the negative thoughts I have, and these are the waste thoughts I have. Like I said, if I think something I can't do it, or I'm weak, I'm not worthy, that is the negative thoughts, right? That thought comes in the mind, then only the feeling comes. So that is the negative thoughts. So when I sit in meditation, I need to see why these kind of thoughts are coming. So when I see the root cause of the thought, like there should be something that is created the thoughts. Like if I say there is a negative thoughts, that there is a root cause for that. So once I sit in meditation, once I understand that these are the negative thoughts I have, then automatically mind start to work. Where is the root cause? Then what happens is I will correct that root cause. Then my thoughts, the quality of my thoughts will be changing. So I will have positive thoughts. So both will happen. But first, I have to reduce the number of thoughts, and I have to understand what kind of thoughts. As I said, waste thoughts, like if I worry about my past, I've done something wrong or I did, and by worrying, that is a thought. Like if I have worrying about the past, it is giving me sorrow, it is not giving me happiness. And when I sit in meditation, I now see my thoughts. So these are my waste thoughts. If I have worry about the future, these are waste thoughts, because I know that the thoughts I create, every thoughts is use energy. So what happens is then it starts to work. So I say myself, okay, so rather than worrying about my past, okay, that I can have the power to put a full stop and say to my mind that past is past and I learned the lesson. It is hard, but it is possible through practice. So every day, that's why we come here. Every day we come here, we do meditation, because it's not like one day It doesn't happen in one day. It's a process. It is meditation is a part of a life. And the change doesn't happen in like one day or 2 days. It is a process, but the process is important than the results. Results will come when the process is right. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We can finish with the short meditation.
Yeah, we'll put this on. Thank you. Om Shanti. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for an insightful talk. It was a good revision of my inner qualities and powers. Very useful. And also the method of gratitude journaling. I found that to be really interesting in identifying my own inner values. So thank you very much again. And the product of the week is this book. It's called Being Beyond Belief, and it's by Mike George, and the subtitle is 30 Beliefs That You Have to Kill Before They Kill You. So it's a thought-provoking book, and Mike George in this book challenges 30 widely accepted beliefs, revealing them to be false and offering a fresh perspective. It's relevant for today's topic as it talks about beliefs that we have to break in order to know our own self-worth. So you can have a look at it in the bookshop. And next week, same time and same place, we have Tuesday Talk, which is navigating the fine line between confidence and ego by Brother Ken. He has over 50 years of experience in meditation. He's also a profound thinker and director of Brahma Kumaris in Latin America. He is the author of several books available in the bookshop. And last year, this event was quite popular, so we had a lot of crowd. And his books were sold out, so it's worth coming if you can come. It's going to be a really good talk. And some other activities that we have are Monday and Thursday. We have online meditation, online and in-house, 7 to 7:30. And we also have Sunday mornings, we have online meditation from 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. And we have a 2-day course coming up, which is Letting Go of the Past, Emerging Stronger, which is on 19th and 20th March. So it's a 2-day course. And the timing is 5:30 to 7 p.m. So thank you very much and have a good evening.